Hello, everyone. Bo Williams in the WATE 6 on Your Side newsroom on this Friday, the 28th, as we'd like to do each week. We want to get you up to date on what's going on outside with traffic and kind of get you up to date also on some projects that are going to be coming up just in the weeks ahead so that you're prepared. Don't want you to get caught in a traffic jam unexpectedly and lose out. Maybe you're trying to get to an appointment. Want to make sure you know exactly what's going to be happening around the area. That way you can plan ahead when you're going to be out running errands or whatever it is you're going to be doing. But first and foremost, we do want to get you updated on what's going on traffic-wise around the area. So we do want to bring in the TDOT SmartWay map for a second. And actually, it looks like we've got a little bit of an alert here north of town. So we're going to zoom in here first for you, get you updated on what's going on here. We'll click on the icon here. It looks like some emergency road work. This is 640 eastbound. This is at mile marker 2.8. So we're approaching the interchange there with 75, 275, and Clinton Highway. Right now, right lane blocked, right shoulder is blocked. So let's bring in some TDOT cameras here and let's see if we can get a look at what's going on. And there it is for you. So you can see where they've got the cones out right now. This is how things are looking live right now. This is 640 eastbound. That is traffic trying to access either 275 south or 640 northbound. As you can see, you've got work going on really on both sides. So you're going to lose that right-hand lane as you're entering that exit ramp, and then if you're going to be forced back over to the right lane, and then from there you'll be either be able to go north up towards 75 or south toward 275. But let's take a look at the backup and see if this is causing any big issues at this moment. We'll click out of this, kind of bring this back a little bit. This is the camera back near Wilson Road, and yeah, you can see that right-hand lane starting to back up right now. Again, you're going to go this way and then that way, so just take it easy through there. Obviously, with this much traffic, you're not going to be able to fly through there anyhow, but just be prepared, just knowing if you're trying to get to that 75 northbound flyover ramp, this is what's going to await you. What you might want to do, especially if you're watching us out in West Knoxville, one good possibility would be just to take 40 all the way into town and get on 275 and head northbound instead of taking 640, because you're going to run into this work that's going on, this emergency road work. Could be some potholes, guardrails. They really weren't that specific, but obviously they're going to be out there working here this afternoon, and that is going to cause some issues. So let me show you what we're talking about. I'll click out of this for a second, and I'll give you a wider view of the area. So here's where we're talking, right? You see the icon up here. If you're out in West Knoxville, I would really suggest just coming in. Let's get the cameras out of here for a moment. Where are the cameras? There they are. Get the cameras out here to kind of give you a better idea. But I'd actually come in on 40 and then take 275 north. It's all green from there, straight northbound. Instead, that way you can avoid what's going on here, 640 eastbound. So just a thought for you. We'll continue to watch that. We'll check it again here before we let you go this afternoon. But just know that emergency road work is happening. Right around mile marker 3, we'll round up. But that 640 eastbound as you're approaching that 75 to 75 Clinton Highway interchange north of the downtown area. Other spots we're watching, we saw an icon here. This was 40 westbound. This is down near Alcoa Highway, and we've got some people walking around along the shoulder of the roadway. We've got a vehicle that's like stranded here off on the shoulder. Let me get this up here. There it is right there. You can see TDOT assisting as well. And here's a few people here walking off here in the grassy median. This is really going to slow things down for you. 40 west, you can see the arrow. So when you see those crews, remember it is the law, if you can, merge to the left, free up that outside lane. Let's bring in another camera here to show just the backups that we're watching for you. Again, that's 40 at Alcoa Highway. This is 40 back near the Middlebrook camera. Traffic there looking okay, but once they round the bend eastbound, they'll see what's going on. But westbound traffic still pretty heavy for you coming out of town. Of course, where we saw that car off on the shoulder of the roadway, that is a westbound camera angle. So let's take a look at that. Actually, we need to take a look. This is the camera I need to be looking at. This is 17th. So the backups aren't too bad right now. But traffic is moving along for you. We'll have to continue to monitor that and keep you up to date. But TDOT right now is assisting that motorist right there near Alcoa Highway, I believe it was. Yeah, there it is. Give you one more look. This is Alcoa Highway, by the way, that's blocking our view. But there they are right now. Looks like everybody's gotten back in their vehicles. No one's walking around. But 40 west in that area, it's not a big backup, but it is going to cause some issues. 640 west obviously could save you some time. We're not seeing any delays there. We were seeing it eastbound, but not westbound. So again, you should make some pretty good time. Really, either way, I think you're going to be okay. But that's how things are looking near the downtown area. Also seeing some heavy traffic. Not a big shock for you. You can see it's highlighted in red here along Cumberland Avenue, especially the closer you get to Alcoa Highway. And that's both directions of Cumberland. Of course, we're coming off of the lunch hour. You've also got all the street lights through there, so that's pretty typical to see the heavy traffic. Also seeing some heavier traffic here along Henley, the Henley Bridge, just north and south of that area. And then also Alcoa Highway here. We'll bring in one of our cameras, but this is right before you cross the Tennessee River. So let's see here. We'll bring the camera in here as you cross Kingston Pike. See if we can pick up any backups, anything like that. Right there, traffic looking okay, so no problems there. We'll head down here just south of that area. We'll bring in the camera here, south of the river, and really no backups. There's probably just some delays right there near the exit as you're trying to get over to I-40. You got a lot of people merging together coming up from Neyland, and then you got traffic trying to merge over, either get off there at Kingston Pike or on up the road at I-40. So again, a couple of spots we're seeing some delays. We'll shift things out here toward the west. This is usually where we see some heavier traffic. And right now, the typical spots for you, live look, we'll take you out here just to the west of I-140, so between I-140 and Lovell Road. And we're seeing some heavy traffic for you there right now, moving so slowly. Eastbound coming into town looks good, but westbound traffic really starting to pick up right now. And then back near Campbell Station, let's see here for a second how things are shaping up there. Traffic's starting to slow. That's eastbound, moving away from us. So it's funny how it changes as pockets. It depends on where you are, whether it's westbound or eastbound. But westbound traffic is slow near Lovell. Eastbound, once you get out near Campbell Station, things start to slow down. And out near Watt Road, this is usually pretty typical that eastbound traffic, as you're making that climb, that you've got 40-75 coming together. You've got the truck scales, you've got the Watt Road interchange, heavy traffic for you there. And we're actually going to have some work coming up in this area next week and this weekend. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a second. But we are seeing that slow traffic, and we'll back this up to see if it's impacting 75, and it is. This is 75 northbound near Hickory Creek. So this is in Loudoun County, right before you get to that 75-40 merge. So just make note of that, that you are going to see some delays. Let's check Kingston Pike, Highway 11 and 70. Could save you some time if you're watching, say, down in Lenoir City. You could avoid some of the delays if you're coming up to Knoxville, where you can see it's highlighted in red by actually jumping on 11. It'll bring you up here. You merge with 70 over near Dixie Lee Junction, coming in through Farragut, and you're pretty good, really, until you get about near Farragut High School. That's where you'll see a little bit of a slowdown. So that could save you some time to get around some of the slowdowns here on the interstate. Just one option for you there. Other areas, though, otherwise looking pretty good. We do have some work happening around the area. And I did want to point this out, too. If you check out our traffic on our website, and we'll have links for you there where you can take a look at some of the TDOT cameras. TDOT has added additional cameras. Now, if you travel I-140, it used to be you could see basically from Dutchtown Road or Lovell Road down Pellissippi Parkway to I-40 to Kingston Pike, not quite to Westland. Now we've got cameras up and down I-140. So this is right before you get to the Tennessee River. So near the Knox-Blount County line, traffic there moving along fine for you. Here's another camera. This is back near an area where we typically see some slowdowns later in the day. This is right there at North Shore. This is I-140 traffic, always pretty active right now as that area continues to grow out west. And then let's see. There's a camera near Topside. Again, traffic there moving along for you. So they have been adding cameras in that area. It just gives us a better visual of what's going on along I-140 as we see more and more traffic on that stretch of road. I know when I moved here back in '02, it seemed like you were about the only car out there. Hardly anybody ever drove on Pellissippi Parkway or I-140. And now it's completely changed. It is heavily used, that is for sure. So we're seeing heavy traffic coming out of Loudoun County, heading into Knox County. We're still watching that emergency road work north of town that we showed just a few moments ago. That's impacting traffic trying to get on to 75 north off 640 east. Heavy traffic for you downtown on I-40 westbound. So again, make note of that. TDOT was assisting a motorist. And still seeing some traffic near the downtown area. All those areas right now highlighted for you in red. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Otherwise, out east, no major problems for you right now. Things looking pretty good, as a matter of fact. Let's take a look here at some of the cameras. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit tighter. If you're heading out, say, towards Sevier County on this Friday, maybe you want to head out to Gatlinburg or Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. Maybe you're heading up maybe further out and heading up toward the Smokies in another direction, maybe going out to Jefferson County or Cocke County. Traffic right now looking okay. This is out near the 407 mile marker. This is where you would hop off to go into Sevierville. Bucky's right there on that interchange. Give you another landmark. Traffic right now looks good. No major backups for you there. So traffic, not an issue. And then I also want to check on real quick, because we are heading into the weekend. I-40 is back open. near the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. And we have been seeing some delays, and it looks like you're going to see it again. This is how things are shaping up. Not as bad as what we've seen in the past. It is one lane in both directions, so that's the good news. You can get through on I-40, but just know at times it is going to be slow. I will say typically it appears to be slower usually coming from North Carolina into Tennessee, not as bad as going into North Carolina from the volunteer state. So eastbound always usually looks a little bit better than westbound, but just know you will see some delays in those areas if you're going to be traveling between North Carolina and Tennessee using I-40. And since we're talking about the state lines and the repairs following Helene, they're still working along I-26. We saw recently that they shifted traffic. They completed work on the eastbound side on the bridge that was damaged in Helene up around the Irwin area, Unicoi County. They've now shifted everything over to the westbound side. So it's still one lane in both directions, but you will see a different lane shift there if you've been traveling that area. But again, you can still make your way through there. Still a lot of alerts in that area, a lot of work being done. That area heavily hit, but by Helene, a lot of damage. But again, traffic moving there. So you do have those options for you, but I just wanted to remind you that 40 is open, but again, you could see some delays. As a matter of fact, look at this all the way back into North Carolina, just off and on delays as there's work going on. Really all along I-40, and you're going to see some delays. So again, you just want to be patient if that's where you're headed this weekend, if your travels take you there. Another option a lot of people like to use is 25 through Hot Springs, kind of brings you in through Marshall, and then you come in on the north end of Asheville. It's usually about an extra 30 minutes on the drive, but knowing of the backups and the one-lane traffic on 40, it may come out about the same. So you know, it just depends on whatever you're feeling. It's one-lane highway both directions, or you can try to take the interstate and be all right there. So that's how things are shaping right now. We'll continue we'll get another look at how things are happening as far as live on this Friday. But we do want to talk about what's going to be going on coming up, and we're going to talk about that coming up in just. All right, welcome back, everyone. And as promised, we're going to get you up to date on what's going on around the area as far as some upcoming projects that we've been watching for you. Just kind of give you a heads up on what's going to be coming up here in the next several days. So we're going to take a look at some other spots here with the T-Dot cameras, and we'll pull these up for you here. So let's get you up to date here. And here's one of the projects we're going to be talking about. This is going to be, we mentioned WATE Road a little while ago. We showed you a live look, heavy traffic, pretty typical this time of day eastbound out there. But there's going to be some work going on, and this is not the first time we've seen the work happening out there, but just want to remind you that it's still going to be going on. This will be on Sunday, March 30th. Actually, we've got some work that will start up tonight at 7 o'clock in this area. So 2 projects. Let me walk you through this. First of all, starting tonight and running through Monday morning, I-40 West ramp to WATE Road. So again, this is exit 369. So as you're coming down 40 West, here is that ramp. We'll get a little bit tighter for you here. There's the westbound ramp coming up to the WATE Road interchange. Starting tonight around, let's see, starting this evening, we'll see, watch out for the rolling roadblock. No, I'm sorry, getting everything mixed up. Westbound 40, starting tonight, running through Monday. Lane closures, lane shifts, the ramp. The crews are out there working, making some repairs to the roadway there. They were doing this last week. Watch for them out there again this week. There is some rain in the forecast, but it's not until late Sunday, so they should be able to get done what they need to get done. Hopefully, they may have to wrap it up a little bit early, but this work will start at 7 o'clock tonight, and will go until about 6 o'clock Monday morning. And we have seen delays at times on this ramp, backing up onto the interstate. So just watch for that this weekend if you're heading out of town. But it's 40 West, the ramp, or the off-ramp there coming up to WATE Road. A lot of truck traffic through there. You've got a couple of truck stops on either side of the interstate, some restaurants as well. Plus you've got a number of neighborhoods really on both sides there, people trying to get home. So again, just make note that this could be a slow spot. If you don't have to take the interstate, maybe Kingston Pike could be your best bet this weekend just to avoid that ramp. But you will have those lane closures on the ramp. And again, that starts 7 o'clock tonight, Friday, and that runs until 6 a.m. on Monday. Also, because we've got 2 projects going on at the same time, on Sunday, watch out for the possible rolling roadblock in this area. And this is 40 East and West near the interchange here. So we'll bring this back wide for you for just a second. And again, out here along I-40 near WATE Road, this rolling roadblock, it'll only last about an hour, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Sunday. So depending on when you go to church and if you take the interstate trying to get into the Farragut area or maybe you're heading to Loudoun County, and you go to that first service of the morning, just know this could slow you down. You could run into one of these rolling roadblocks, but they've got some overhead work, some utility work that needs to be done here, and that's why crews will be having these rolling roadblocks Sunday morning. But that will start at 6 a.m. Should wrap by about 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So watch for that. That is coming up at WATE Road. So a lot going on in this area as far as road work with the ramp, and then some utility work being done on Sunday morning. So keep all of that in mind. But again, just to repeat one more time, that work on the westbound ramp starts at 7 o'clock tonight on Friday and runs till Monday morning at 6 a.m. All right, another project that we're watching for you right now. This is in Knox County. This is I-140. And they've been doing all kinds of work. And this is really, I think when I showed you the camera at North Shore, we're saying we had a lot of backup, especially later in the day, eastbound on I-140. This is the reason why. Crews are out there. They've been working off and on. They've been closing some of the lanes for various road work. Some of it was to install these cameras and the overhead signage for TDOT, but there's still some more work going on. And coming up on Monday, watch out for some possible lane closures. The good news is this will be later in the day, so 7 at night until 6 o'clock the following Tuesday morning. Crews will be out there doing the road work. Watch out for stopped traffic. Many times when they start this at 7 o'clock at night, if you are running over, say, toward the North Shore Town Center, you will know that you will see some of the delays on I-140, and that will impact the ramps there at North Shore. But this is east and westbound I-140, so you could be heading from North Shore, heading toward the river, or coming across from Blount County, heading into Knox County. Just know you could see some delays, but this will be Monday night, heading into Sunday morning. Usually see the bigger impacts Sunday night. They'll start those roadblocks and that work or those lane closures on Sunday night, and that's when you start to see things slow down. People running to the stores or what have you, wrapping up their weekend. That's when you'll see those delays, but that's starting Sunday night. Now, of course, rain still in the forecast for Sunday night. That could cancel all of this out. We'll have to watch and see, but just be prepared. If you travel that area, you know what we're talking about. All right, another area that we're watching for you, and this is also an extension of I-140. This is where it turns back to Pellissippi Parkway. This is State Route 162, but this is in Blount County. We've talked about this as well. This is between Cusick Road and State Route 33, so Old Knoxville Highway, so a pretty long stretch here. But watch out, the crews between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. This will be daily. They're doing some bridge work in that area, and so you'll see some lane closures that go along with that. This is, it doesn't give us a direction, so just be prepared in both directions. But again, this is going to be 162 between Cusick and 33. This will continue next week. If you live out in this area, you know what I'm talking about. The work is not done yet, obviously, and they will be working next week on this as well. So that could cause you some delays as you're going to be traveling around the area there. So that is just a couple of the projects that we are watching for you. Also, just a reminder for you, and I see if I want to take you back. I'm going to bring you into downtown for a moment. Don't forget Big Ears Festival going on. Maybe you got tickets. If you do, congratulations, because it's sold out basically. There are some free events going on around the area, but for the most part, all the big events are sold out. But that does mean a lot of foot traffic, a lot of vehicle traffic downtown. So you're going to have to be careful when you are driving around the area. Watch out. Excuse me, a lot of visitors to the area. And so they don't know where they're going. You just have to be patient out there on the roadways if you're going to be traveling in the downtown area. And then also remind everybody, the pedestrian zone continues. That's just another area where you won't be able to drive. That's around Market Square area. Again, you'll have those closures for you. They kind of open it up to the pedestrian traffic only during the weekends, so watch for that as well as you're trying to make your way around, trying to navigate Big Ears. You also will have to navigate the pedestrian zone as well, trying to get to some of those parking garages and what have you. So just a couple of things to think about as you're traveling around the area. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll take one more look at how traffic is shaping up on this Friday in case you're getting ready to head out the door. And we'll do that coming up. All right, welcome back, everyone. And as promised, I want to kind of go around the area, give you another look at what's happening as far as traffic. I want to get you up to date on what's happening out there in case you're going to be running some errands here soon. We had some issues at the very beginning of our broadcast here as far as traffic issues out there on the roadways. So we do want to revisit those before we let you go in case you're going to be out and about. So let's bring the TDOT SmartWay map back in here for just a second, and we're going to zoom in on a few spots for you. Really the big trouble spot. And we're still seeing it. It is north and west of town. We've got some emergency road work going on. It's right there as you're coming off 640 East, trying to merge onto 75 or 275. So let's bring in the TDOT Smart Way cameras for you and kind of give you a better idea of what you'll be facing. And there you go, work still underway. So this is 640 eastbound. Right there as you're exiting, here's the 75 northbound flyover ramp, that single lane flyover ramp that takes you to 75 north up toward Merchant. Or you can stay right and it'll pop you down to 275 heading toward High School. The problem is you've got the right lane closure, so everybody that's trying to get off there has to get into one lane, and then everybody will be shifted back over to try to get to the northbound lane. This is due to some of the pavement, we understand, giving way next to the roadway. It's up here where you can see the crews working up here near that ramp. So they're gonna bring you left, and they're gonna shift you back to the right, and then right when you get past that, then you can branch off. But again, I want to appreciate our crews getting a little extra information on what's going on there. But that kind of shows you what's happening. You can see they've got a number of trucks up here working on the roadway. But again, right now, everybody still deems it safe enough to travel. THP is there as well, as long as the contractors, TDOT out there working on it. But again, this is a section of pavement that's giving way right next to the roadway. So not on the roadway, but it is kind of a sloped area if you've driven through there, that grassy area as you're making your way up toward those ramps to 75 and 275. We'll back this up for you and get another look at the delays as we hop out of the camera there. We'll take the camera back near Wilson Road. We'll see how this is, and you can really see now that right-hand lane really starting to back up. I do want to point out, if you're going from end to end on 640 eastbound, so from West Knoxville to East Knoxville, you're fine. Those two left lanes, zipping along, no problems whatsoever. You're going to be just fine. But it's that right-hand lane, if you're trying to exit, that is going to be the issue. So since we see the delays all the way back to Wilson Road, let's back this camera up even more, and we'll take this just north of Western Avenue, and you can see where it is affecting traffic. Now, here's the deal. The further back we get, it's not just that right-hand lane, because everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. All the lanes will start to slow down. Some of these people will eventually try to merge to the right, and when they do, that is when you start to see everything start to log jam as far as all three lanes, and that's what we're starting to see, some slowdowns for you here. So this is just north of Western Avenue right now. Let's back it up a little bit more at Western Avenue, and it looks like here the traffic is fine. So it hasn't gotten that far back, but still pretty lengthy as far as the delays and the impacts on the number of lanes. As we showed you earlier, if you can, depending on where you're watching, and we'll take this wide again, here's the problem spot. Right here, northwest of town, where they're doing that emergency road repair. If you can, if you're out in West Knoxville coming in, just stay on 40. Don't hop on 640 east, stay on 40 all the way to 275, and then take that northbound, because again, it is clear as a bell that way. As we take the cameras out, I'll zoom in here too, just to point out that eastbound is all highlighted in green. Green is good when it comes to traffic. Traffic there looking just fine for you all the way up 275. So that would be the suggestion. Until that work is wrapped up, no timeline yet. They're working as fast as they can, but just know that is going to be an issue for you. So let's bring the cameras back in here for just a moment. So we've got that problem. We'll check on that if we have time one more time. I do want to zoom in here because we are seeing some delays southbound Alcoa Highway, just south of that 40 interchange. So let's take a look. They're moving the cameras around here right now. This is Alcoa Highway, not far from Cumberland, Kingston Pike area. Traffic is slow. This is the southbound lanes right now. It's moving along. It's not stop and go, but it is a little bit heavier than what we would maybe see this time of day. Let's click on the barrel here, and there's just some scheduled road work is what they're reporting. This is at mile marker 6. No lanes are blocked, but it is just going to cause a lot of people to slow down. We'll bring in another camera. There it is at Cumberland for you. And again, you can see this is southbound traffic. There's the exit down to Kingston Pike and the Cumberland. So this is southbound traffic as you're heading toward the river right now. We're seeing those delays. Let's bring this down a little bit further, get you across the river and see, yeah, and there it is. You know, we checked this right at the top of our broadcast and it was clear as a bell. Now we're seeing that slow traffic southbound Alcoa Highway. This is due to some scheduled work. Of course, they've been doing a lot of work, improvements to Alcoa Highway, part of that project that will be going on until about 2027. So we're going to have to get used to that. And you can see here, north and southbound is slow until you get right about Woodson Drive. And that's where they've been working on the side of the roadway, working on some of those retaining walls, a lot of concrete being dumped in that area, a lot of truck traffic, those work trucks that are going in and out of there. So they have been keeping a close watch. So again, keep that in mind. Alcoa Highway going to be slow right now. along with 640 eastbound. So 2 spots that we're going to keep watching for you. Also, real quick, we'll shift back out here toward the west, check on those backups we were seeing in Loudoun County, 75 northbound, and there they are. They didn't go anywhere. Slow traffic for you coming up from, say, Lenoir City, heading up toward that 75-40 merge right before you get to Watt Road and then the truck scales. So again, just know you're going to see some heavy traffic. I don't think it's really impacting 40 eastbound as much. We'll take a look. Here is the camera. This is 40 east, back near Buttermilk. Yeah, it's heavy, but it's moving along. So if you're coming in from Roane County, Loudoun County on 40, you're going to be okay. It's that 75 northbound traffic, but we are starting to see those delays right there where 70 and 40 begin to merge. So do watch for that, plan for that as you're going to be traveling. Once you get into Knox County, traffic is going to be heavy heading toward Campbell Station, but it does move a lot better than what we were seeing in that area right there around Loudoun County and Lenoir City. So we will see some improvements. It's just that typical. Everybody's coming together, and then everybody's trying to jockey for position, trying to figure out what lanes they need to be in when 75 and 40 merge. Other spot we were seeing some slowdowns, and this is again pretty typical. It's that 40 I-140 interchange, and we'll see if the camera will pop up for us here. It looks like we're going to get the spinning circle, so we'll pick another camera here. How about the one between I-140 and Level Road? Take a look at this one. There you go, and there's 40 westbound traffic heading out of town. Again, slow going for you eastbound right now. Seems to be moving along without too many problems. So some good news for you there. Traffic for the most part, pretty typical for a Friday. No accidents, just some road work, some of it scheduled, some of it emergency road work, and that's why we're seeing some of the slowdowns at this time. Also want to remind everybody, if you ever have a question, don't forget you can always send us an email. We'll be more than happy to look into it for you and try to get you up to date. You can also call TDOT with any concerns. We'll do this all again next week. Take care.